Welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. Once again, we return with a new challenger approaching. Mr. Marcus, a friend of the channel as well as a teammate, is bringing some Tyranids today. Today will be a battle of the bugs. I'm bringing Canoptic Collection versus the big bad bugs of the new codex. Yeah, because these are all brand new models, brand new data sheets, to 40K entirely. So this will be a very interesting and fun matchup. And both of us who play a lot of competitive, we travel around for tournaments. These are not lists that we'd be taking to a 2-round event, 2-day GT. No way. Not at all. Not at all. But there are some cool things, because who doesn't like throwing some big bad bugs on the table?
Heck yeah, you got to try out all the models. Have fun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. And that's what I've been going through with a lot of the Necron stuff, which, as I said, guys, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the bell for notifications, get notified on all the content we bring you on the channel. I have a video just of Marcus and his list as well, just what he's bringing and what he's talking about, as well as my own and a bunch of the Necron content. Hopefully this will be the first but not last time we will see you on the channel. Well, with that being said, let's get over to what we really are here to see, and that's the armies, and get the dice rolling. Mr. Marcus, what you got for us today?
All right, so here's my Tyranids I'm bringing today. It's a parasite of Mortrex as my warlord, 3 Norn assimilators, 3 Norn emissaries, and 3 2-man Ripper Swarms.
All right, and for me, I got a couple more bottles than that, but I do have some fancy bugs myself. So my leader is going to be a Technomancer with the Sovereign of Cornell. Then we have 3 6-man squads of the Canoptic Scarabs, 1 6-man of Wraiths, 3 2-mans of the Canoptic Spiders, 3 individual Doomstalkers, and making their debut today, 3 Canoptic Tomb Sentinels, and the return of my Canoptic Tombstalker. And of course, what Necron list is not complete without a Canoptic Reanimator? So these are some interesting little lists that we're bringing today. Now, Marcus, I know in your collections and stuff I've seen, you frolic to the big guys and do a lot of work with airbrush and stuff like that. What appealed to you with these big dudes, other than they're cool, they're new, and I want cool and new?
Yeah, pretty much.
Mean, if that's the case, that's the case.
I like collecting everything, but
literally.
But yeah, I got really excited when they were showing the whole Queen stuff, and everybody was thinking like, the actual Queen stuff was going to get released, but these are the emissaries, the little step above to the even bigger,
we're getting to
brainier bugs,
Right, we're getting to that point where a lot of the things, like there was that Warhammer 40K card game for a while, and that was like one of the, I think, first or second glimpses we got to see of the Norn Queen. And we're getting closer and closer to that realm where we may start to see pieces of it, or may ever see the Norn Queen. I mean, hey, I need something for my Warlord Titan fight. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm interested to see these guys on the table. I don't think that in competitively I'll have to see all 3 by 3 of them, but I definitely, at the end of this game, I will know how to fight these things and what they can do. As for mine, I just want to play these Sentinels. I got a bunch of Centipedes.
Yeah, they look so cool.
They do. And I was telling you off camera, when I was painting them, and I turned them upside down to paint them, man, they gave me kind of like the EBGBs. Like, it was like I was actually holding a dead bug in my hand. I'm like, okay, these are big. Because I remember back when in my younger days, back in my day, watching some YouTube videos and seeing those 14 to 16-inch centipedes that eat mice and stuff. And of course, me and my one buddy, after a couple beers, are like, we're totally going to buy one of these. Luckily, we never did that. Otherwise, I might not be here to play Warhammer today. So, unfortunately, I got to move my little trophy out of the way. And yes, I'm keeping this out here just to taunt Lane for next year. But we need a little bit of room, because here on the channel, to determine attacker and defender, woo, this dice, as I almost hit you with it, and then Marcus goes home, is how we determine it. So I'm going to roll it. You declare odd or even, and then that's our attacker defender. Marcus?
Odd.
Whoop, whoop. And it's even. So I will have you deploy first, and guys, we'll be back after deployment. All right, we are deployed. So let's talk a little bit about what we are doing today. Marcus, why don't you, what is our deployment for this mission?
Well, we got a Hammer and Anvil, the favorite of all shooting armies.
Yeah, both of us are not really playing the long range. I got some Doomstalkers, but hey.
But yeah, we have the take and hold, classic. So just 5 points per objective you hold up to 15. Nothing scary there. And then supply lines.
Yep. So we're going to be getting extra command points if we have our home objective marker on a 4-up. So that's where we're starting. It's kind of some simple missions just because of with some of these armies, there's not too much tech. And we just didn't want to think about it too much. We didn't want to think about it too much because this is a game where you have two guys that just want to play with their big toys. And speaking of those, let's talk a little bit about what we're doing with these toys today. So over here for the Canoptic Collective, I don't really know what I'm going to be doing against these things. These bugs are pretty big, mean, and scary. So we are just kind of holding back against our back wall. Marcus has a neat little trick where he's going to be able to advance the turn counter on one of his emissaries, is it? The emissaries are in reserve?
Yeah, anything that's in reserves from the Vanguard Onslaught, you can pick one of those and count it a turn earlier.
So he's going to be able to crash. He could potentially crash a big bad bug into me early. So I put the Scarabs on the outside to kind of absorb that because that's fine for me than those guys. And then I got the Doomstalkers in position to try and move up and grab some firing lanes to be able to do some damage from long range since they don't really fight that well. Spiders are also surrounding them in position, so as Marcus tries to get in on me and punch my Doomstalkers into oblivion, I might be able to save them and have some hope with them. Also in reserve, I do have all 3 Canoptic Tomb Sentinels and the Stalker, since they can deep strike, as well as 1 squad of Scarabs in Strategic, because I just didn't know what else I was going to do with it. Over here, we got the Wraiths, which have 2 options on which direction they want to go. If they want to go into center or go into objective marker 2 over here on the side. Now, a keen eye may notice that there is a couple little tokens on all these objective markers. Marcus, why don't you take a second to tell me what those mean and what we're doing with those?
So for each Norn, so both the Norn emissaries and the Norn assimilators, at the start of the first battle round, you pick either an objective or an enemy unit. If you pick an objective, that Norn gets 15 OC, normally 5, so triple your OC, and a Feel No Pain, 5 up on that specific objective. If it's an enemy unit, which I did not pick, none were big and scary enough, unfortunately, I would get to reroll both hits and wounds against that unit for that specific Norn.
That's pretty vicious. So, like, for example, real quick right here, we'll go into this. So you got this guy right here. Who's this big guy right here?
That is the assimilator. So when they've got those big pokey stick guns underneath, those are the harpoons that basically help them get the +2 to charge and all that fun stuff.
Got it. So this assimilator right here has a 4 token on him. And then this 4 over here means that if that assimilator gets onto that objective marker, not only will he have objective control 15 on it, but he will also gain a Feel No Pain. What's the Feel No Pain?
A 5+, so 33% to just knock off stuff.
Yep. Hey, I mean, that's really cool. That's pretty good. So otherwise than that, Marcus, what are you doing for your deployment? What is this? What's in your mind? What you got going on?
Well, being Hammer and Anvil, I have to get to you eventually. So I put everything on the line that made sense on the line. With you putting certain things in reserves, I wanted to make sure that I had some Rippers kind of buffing the backfield to make sure that my Warlord holding my home field objective stays nice and protected.
Because no one likes sneaky little centipedes getting in their basement.
So no.
And what's he going to be doing for you there?
Honestly, being a lone operative, just hoping to not get shot at. And because I'm Vanguard Onslaught, for 1 CP, I can make him untargetable outside of 6 inches. So instead of the 12 inches, if you deep strike that 9, try to shoot him, I can say, oh, you got to pick a new target. He's only targetable within 6 inches.
No, you didn't say the magic word. Nice. All right. Well, there's only one thing left to do, and that's for us to do the dice roll to determine who will be going first. Marcus, what do you feel like in this? Do you want to go first or second?
I mean, you bubbled out nicely. There's no reason for me to have that first turn charge unless you start coming forward. So I wouldn't mind you going first. I mean, you might get a couple lucky shots, but I would like for you to come out of your hidey hole.
Yeah, I kind of would like to go first as well, too, to be able to get into some better positions and at least start making you think across the battlefield. So, all right, let's see. Are you rolling one of my dice, sir?
Why not?
Okay, well, then I will grab one of this.
Oh, I would make sure that it's different. Okay.
There we go. There we go. Yep. All right, let's see.
Oh,
it beats me with my own dice, but that's not actually a good thing for you, technically, because that's not what you want.
I'm basically gonna take a turn and do pretty much nothing. I'm gonna run up and hide behind some objectives, try to at least be on I think these three, that one's questionable if I can get to it in time.
We'll get that. Let's get a move on it, and then we will come back and show where we ended up. Well, Marcus was an honest man. This is definitely what he did. He just moved forward. Nothing was really in range, plus a couple of advances and stuff like that. Marcus, you want to talk me through like some of the stuff you did, what your plans were with some of it?
Yep. So this one in particular, I just got him right up to the wall. I only need like an inch or so, but I want to make sure that he's still blocked by this obscuring one.
Just so you know, yeah, this is considered, we consider it obscuring.
Yep.
So it's complete, he's blocked behind it. So he's good.
And then the same thing for that assimilator down the line. He actually needed at least a 2-inch to get on that objective. I got a 3. So that's now giving him a little bit more protection. Plus, he wants to be closer anyways. He's only starting to be in the threat range at 12 inches. So I need to get to you.
Yep. And then this guy in the middle, what's he doing for you?
Yep. I was initially thinking, an advance would be perfect, getting him over here. DJ reminded me that one of my secondaries is deploy the scramblers or teleport homers.
Deploy teleport homers. So I just need to start getting some points over here. We thought about it, and over engage, it just makes us, a lot more points for me. Yeah, so Marcus chose to take the static secondaries for this game, and he's going to be doing Bring It Down because I have a ton of vehicles and monsters in my list, as well as deploy teleport homers, since that is an action that scarabs can do. Rippers. Rippers. Yep. Rippers, yes. But in the end, also like Marcus said, with only having a handful of models, drawing cards might have been really, really risky. So I think this is going to be a better secondary play for him overall. And he's going to be able to pick up those 2 in the middle. So that's going to be it. No shooting, no charges. It's going to be on to the Necrons answering back. And I think these wraiths might be testing their goal. You see that right there? That's what happens when you try and be crafty. So I spent a command point to do the advance and shoot, or advance and get assault, and reroll and roll double ones. So these spiders here that I was trying to get into a better position to maybe shoot downfield, yeah, that's not happening. All right, as for the turn, so far, I drew area denial and no prisoners. Man, not the best secondaries to be looking at right now. So we're going to try. We're going to test this big bug's brutality. This Norn, who has a 4-up invuln, a 5-up feel no pain, we're going to hit him, and we're going to try and hit him hard. Originally, I thought about going after this dude, because this assimilator, Norn, does not have an invuln, but the game told me to do differently. Otherwise, I moved these scarabs into position, just so that he's not able to easily charge right through the center. And then these scarabs over here just moved to help me keep zoning out for some of the deep strike and the Norns that are still in reserve. These spiders over here continue to keep this corner check. And yeah, we're going to do some shooting now and try and see if we can't do some damage to this guy. And then we'll see where we're at for the assault phase. All right, so this shooting worked out better than I expected. So we did spend a command point on these guys to get some rerolls in here because they were able to get kind of in half range in sorts and do a little bit of damage to this Norn. And then back here, one Doomstalker didn't like it too much. The other one, he came to play. So we were able to end up getting 6 wounds on him, for which feel no pain, one of them. So we dropped this big bad bug down to 7 wounds. It's happening. We're about to charge these wraiths in here. We'll be back to see how these wraiths can fare going into this beastie. Sadly, the wraiths are really, really unimpressive in combat. Or maybe they just don't belong in combat with giant Tyranid bugs like this one. With the low weapon skill, no sovereign, no canoptic control, no nearby, they really weren't able to hit. They really weren't able to do damage. However, wraiths are still super resilient as they've always been. And when Marcus swung back, he did pop a wraith. I spent the command point to do the reanimation strat and brought him back to full health. So that kind of just washed right there nicely. And at least we've clogged this zone. I know that Marcus wants to play off center, so at least we can kind of slow that down a little bit into his turn. Unfortunately, this means I will be getting skunked on secondaries for this round. I pitched both of them. I don't gain a command point because of the mission secondary where I already gained one, but that's okay. I'd rather have some have a refresh into next turn and maybe get some more board presence-y things, especially with all my deep strike and strategic. Well, that's it for my turn 1. We're going to kick this back over to Marcus and see how he answers back. All right, we have finished moving, and there is a couple more bugs on the table now. Let's go over here first. So, Marcus, what do we got going on over here? I see some itty bitty bugs.
Yep. So did this guy kind of close to your deployment zone? These guys came in your deployment zone with that stratagem. So any table edge, and then
This
they're doing the secondary for the
right.
scrambler. So
you
it's 4
spend
points.
So you spend a command point so that this big bug.
Yeah, because these ones right here. Hold on. Oh wait, they just deep strike. It doesn't matter.
They deep strike. Wasn't it the command point you spent on the big bug so that he was able to
I'd rather
push the turn one more?
I'd rather not put him right there. He's outside your deployment zone now, so I don't have to spend a CP.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, because they were like right over. That's why I was like, yeah, I don't need to because they're deep striking.
So quick adjust on the fly.
Yep.
Originally,
Sorry about that.
Marcus was going to spend a command point so that he could come even closer with his big bug. But being just outside of 18 of my deploy, or outside of the 18 of the table edge, he is actually able to do it for free instead. So moving on over here, this bug is hanging out still over here, just holding the objective for you.
Yep, just brought him out a little bit more so I can make it easier next turn if needed. But I mean, it's holding objectives is the main primary, and this is the one that he wants to be at anyways. But yeah, for the following turns, with this plexiglass, those Doomstalkers have a hard angle to try to see him. So
not going to be doing anything on him.
Yep.
And the same thing with this. Worry about over here.
Yeah, the assimilator over here. I tucked him in. You kind of didn't really give me anything good. So this is just a distraction. This little distraction over here where all these, the shooting could kill him. Again, the assimilators don't have an invuln save. So the more I can keep him hidden and, again, holding objectives is getting points, the more likely he is to survive.
Right. And then you fell back from center and are getting ready to charge back in.
Yeah. So with Vanguard Onslaught, I can fall back and charge. So I'm constantly always getting value out of him. So I'm going to fall back. This one's going to shoot in, and then he'll charge back in.
All right, so we got some shooting. Let's see how this rolls out. We'll be back after we do some damage here. So the shooting wasn't very much, but it was still effective. So Mr. Norn over here, or Miss Norn, I don't know, shot at the Wraiths. He was able to pick one of them up because it's used the Melta beams, and you had Melta 2, so you were guaranteed to kill on each hit, right?
Well, it was this guy who shot, not this one, because I can only fall back and charge. I can't fall back, shoot, and charge.
Right.
But yeah, next time I might try the 2d6 blast because I am winning you on 3s. That might be the way to get through your 4-up invuln a little bit better. So,
and then into the fight phase, charge back in, was picked up another.
Yeah, I picked up only one. Yeah, you were good. You saved. You're a little bit above on your 50-50s right now.
You did 6 wounds. I saved 4. Yes. And then I did spend the command point. I was hesitant, but I did spend the command point to reanimate back. So I do have 5 in the squad now. He's got 1 wound left, and we swung back, and actually we got a wound through. He's down to 2. He's down to 5. He's wheeling. We're dealing. And we are going to move over to a Necron turn. The Rippers over here did successfully score 4 points on deploy teleport homers. All right, time to cron it up. And here we go. So we are bringing it in. We're bringing in all 3 Canoptic Tomb Sentinels. And they're going to all be within range to start peppering this Norn. This is the
Assimilator.
Assimilator, and who began with an A. So we're going to try and hit him. He's getting feel no pain. He's super tough. He doesn't have an invuln?
He does not. Only the emissaries have invulns. He does not have an invuln.
So the +1 AP for shooting at a unit on a objective marker might play out well over here. Spiders are also in range, so they're going to try and pepper them as well and put some extra damage on there. Over here, I'm staying in combat. I'm giving the Wraiths their due. This guy's got 5 wounds left, so we're not in a bad position. Now, for my secondaries, I did draw a Cleanse as well as Defend Stronghold. So Defend Stronghold, obviously, hold home field. Cleanse, I'm going to try and pick up 3 points here. But in order to do that, these guys are going to need to kill the Norn in shooting with their pistols. Probably not going to happen. If not, we'll charge in, blow up a scarab, and try and finish this guy off. So now over here, this Norn, he's in my backfield. Sort of. He's right on my edge, right on my table deployment zone. Yeah, we're bringing everything else. We got all 3 Doomstalkers have line of sight drawn onto them. Oh, there's the last one. 2 squads of spiders drawing line of sight onto him. We're going to charge scarabs in if we need to. I want him gone before he gets feel no pain on my home field objective, because trust me, that is going to be a bad time. All right, let's roll some dice and see how this works. All right, so I am not impressed. Maybe it's just the target. All three of these guys shot and did absolutely nothing. However, back here, the spiders, they're the ones that hit and did damage. My good old reliable spiders, and they're not even buffed by the Sovereign. So sadly, not a lot of work out of there right now. Over here, we were able to put another wound onto the Norn. So he's now down to 5, I think it was, or is he down to 4 now?
He's down to 4.
He's down to 4. So
from 16, yeah.
We might be able to pick him up in combat. You know what we did pick up this turn? That's right. Considering the fact that I put 3 Doomstalkers, a fully stratted squad of spiders, everyone +1 to hit. Yeah, I wanted him dead. He's gone. So now we got some charges we're going to do here. We're going to bring since we didn't clear him, we're going to charge the Scarabs in. And what the Scarabs are going to be able to do is we're going to be able to blow one of them up and try and do some more wounds. So hopefully get the Wraiths to be able to finish that Norn off over there. And then we're just going to beat up these Rippers because we can. All right, so we're resolving the combat step here. So he charged in and did not do any damage. But the big hope was, since I was within range of the objective marker, and as well, he was still on the objective marker, maybe we could use some of that ability, and it didn't really come into effect. The 4-up invuln definitely did. Keeping him alive with 5 wounds remaining for at least right now, and kind of playing a little bit of a block so that this boy here can't come rushing in on me and I can actually try and fight him on my own terms. Over here, the Scarabs, we blew one up and we were able to do huge damage to him, but it was mortal wounds. So he had a 4-up feel no pain, bringing him down to 2 wounds remaining. He swung back, smacked into the Wraiths, picked up 2 of them, and did some damage to another. Wraiths attacked back and were unsuccessful with only the 3 guys remaining. And then over here, well, when they don't have invulns, they die to shooting. The assimilator that was over here. As well, these Rippers, I mean, we had 6 Scarabs going to 2 Rippers. Yeah, they ate them up. Base swarm on swarm action. Scarabs 1, Rippers 0. Of course, there was only 2 bases. All right, over to Marcus. Let's see how he's going to answer back. Oh, as well, I discarded Cleanse. Was not able to score it and got a command point since I failed to get my command point at the beginning of the turn. All right, over to Marcus and his movement. All right, so Tyranids are done moving. Marcus, what we got here? Playing defensive still. Playing defense with the big bugs. Over here, you brought your second one in?
Yep, turn 3, so I had to bring in the other simulator. After I saw what happened over here and with all the bubbling going on, I knew I couldn't get him in an opportune spot. So instead, I decided to bring something that actually has an invuln up, hopefully trying to kill one of these or maybe some spiders with his shooting, and then charging over here to kind of help disrupt these little Scarabs. But at least this also still gets me this objective for the points, still bubbles this over here, and keeps everything on your side of the table.
I still got some Scarabs and Sentinel in reserve. Then over here, you just fell back with these bugs and are going to charge right back in, so you get priority.
Yeah, falling back. So this one will still shoot into here like before, and then he'll charge in, and hopefully that gets rid of the Wraiths at least.
Well, I don't hope for that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do some shooting, and we'll see how that happens. So very little to say from the Necron shooting. Wow. The shooting into the Necrons from the Tyranids. We lost 1 Wraith in the center, just straight out. And then that was kind of really it. We lost a Scarab over here, but then we went into close combat, into charges. So this Tyranid, big bug over here, assimilator, absolutely ran and crushed the Sentinel real quick. 5 wounds went by real fast. Over here, lost 1 Wraith to this Norn, and a Scarab blew up and completely failed. I rolled a 1. So sad. Needed 2 wounds. Wasn't meant to happen. And then over here, failed the 10-inch charge, which I'm going to tell you, anytime Marcus rolls a 10 or above charge, I actually get scared because he's hurt me with them before. All right, Marcus, how you feeling after that turn?
Not the best, but I mean, I've been working pretty well on my primary, so that's the focus.
You really have. So I'm going to have to do some work here. I do score a 3 on Defense Stronghold. And you did not score any on your secondary right now. So
nope.
Okay, maybe that's where I need to hit. But I need better secondaries. That's what I need. All right,
Draw better.
Yeah, that's my mistake. I just need to draw better cards and roll nothing but sixes. All right, Necron turn. All right, so much like the Tyranids, we're moving forward. So over here, I know these guys aren't great in combat, but we got to make pushes on that point, and I'm going to have to hit them with everything I got because we have to take that Norn out. We need to remove him, and it's 12 wounds left with a feel no pain. That's going to be rough. Over here, we only have 2 wounds left to deal with, so we got some Doomstalker hate to be able to go downfield, and I brought in the Sentinel that can put a little bit extra because that was the only spot I could get him in. Mark has done a good job of zoning me out, so there's really no other good spot, and I want to make sure that he's up front. And actually, if he does charge me, I might get to able to use his ability for a free heroic intervention. Hooray! I did fall back because I want to be able to hit him with the Doomstalkers. The Doomstalkers do have blast weapons. And over here, we are going to charge, we're going to shoot, we're going to pour into this guy right here. He is a 4-up involved, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it'll be tough, but we're going to try and pick him up. Hopefully, I can at least get the one in the middle and the one over here that I was just talking about. Take both of them out this turn so I can leave only 3 left. Don't think I'm going to kill this one, but hey, let's see what happens. All right, time to do some shooting. All right, so shooting was significantly better than combat, as one would expect, but it was wild. It was wild on what did what. So we went after this Norn that was been a pain in my side since the beginning of the game. First Doomstalker failed. Sentinel failed. I'm like, all right, well, we're getting some resources here. Came over here. Spiders went into the Norn over here. Devastating wounds to all Oblivion. They picked him up
10
like
dev
nothing.
wounds.
10 easy dev wounds. Well, not easy, but like easy damage when you don't have a feel no pain. Once again, noticing a theme here. This Doomstalker was then able to shoot into the center and failed. Came back to this Brosif, once again, the champion of killing Tyranids, and he went through with a big 7 shots and finished off the Norn with 2 wounds left on it. As for combat, we just went over here to kind of try to box this dude in so he's not able to fall back and get anywhere better so we can get more damage up on him. We only did a little bit of damage in the shooting phase, bringing him down to 10. So we're going to need a little more work. But I needed to be able to turn the sides. So Marcus has a real heavy hold on primary. I did well with secondary this turn to get 8 points because of the 3 from last turn and 5 for Storm Hostile. But we're going to drop enemy outposts and see what we can do into that. In other news, over to Marcus, his movement, and let's see what he does with these big bad bugs. All right, Marcus, you just finished your move. What do you got going on?
So I'm just keeping him back here to guarantee my 5 points I need for primary.
Who's him?
And the
Parasite.
Mortrex Parasite. Okay. Yeah, he's not going to be doing much else to anything else. I can't really get him in a good opportune spot. And I'd rather just not risk you getting extra points from a secondary for killing the character or something like that. You know? Just try to deny points at that point.
Right now, my secondary game kind of sucks, and if you can get me on a bad assassinate when I already discarded for a redraw, that would be lame.
Yep, move this guy out. I don't need to hold anymore, so I just need to start getting value out of these. He's going to hopefully kill this and charge these. I don't know. That's really hopeful because I did 5 wounds to this last turn and it healed them all back. So move this guy up from over here. There should be just enough room that I can charge this and get on this objective. Should keep him off this one for still helping with that primary and keeping him low on that. And he fell back so that he could charge. Keeping me fighting first, even though you guys haven't been hurting me that much in combat. It's been the shooting.
No,
all those devs. Yeah. I did advance the Rippers on both sides, just trying to get something out of them. My one secondary, I really should be trying to do that a little bit. So,
alrighty, well, that's going to be that. So we're going to move over into the shooting phase. Let's see how and charges, and we'll see where we do some damage. So while the Tyranids are not doing a lot of damage per se to remove me, they are kept me in the corner. Marcus has definitely been running away on the primary board. I probably should have tried to gambit at some point. I thought eventually I could push back. Here we go. We finish off after the shooting. The shooting wasn't very much. A little bit of damage here, a little bit of damage there, but nothing too Nothing really relevant. It was when we got to the fight phase. This emissary charged it, right? Or is that an
That's assimilator. Yeah.
I'll get it right eventually. The assimilator charged and actually just swept right through the spiders and crushed them. This little scarab, though, decided to blow himself up, and he did 6 damage.
6 mortals.
He's down to 10, or down to 9 now.
Yeah,
down
the scarabs ended up doing a damage in combat.
Scarabs, man, scarabs eating the Tyranids. Over here, well, we did no damage, but I'm very happy to say, so did he.
You saved all your invulns.
Yeah, I just said no. I have a 4 up here. Let me show you all of them. Now I'm never going to roll another one for the rest of the game. Over here, we took a little bit of damage on the Sentinel, and we did a little bit of damage back with the Overwatch and everything else. So actually, I'm feeling a little bit better about being able to pick this guy up in my turn, hopefully. So that is going to be it for Marcus's turn. He has a heavy, heavy lead on me on primaries, once again holding me to 5. So let's see what we can do to try to get some points back. All right, so it's going to be tough for me to catch up on the scoreboard, but you know what? We are going to try. And the best way I can do it is to basically nearly table Marcus. So we did some moving. We came off the objective because I scored 5, and it's not going to matter. Next time I score primary, it's going to be the end of the game. We fell back from here. The spiders moved up, and they're going to try and fight and be part of killing him. He's got that feel no pain. It's going to be tough, but he has no invuln, so at least that helps. And this is also my tempting target, one of my secondaries. My other one being assassinate. Remember how Marcus said he was keeping him back there just in case? You can do it, little buddies. You can do it. And then we were able to move up the Doomstalkers. We got 2 Doomstalkers that are able to put lay waste and lay point onto this guy here. So hopefully that's enough to bring him down.
Yeah, and he is touching that, but this is not the
that doesn't get
that's not the one that gives him his bonuses. Yeah.
Then over here, we're just going to try and hold this guy up for a little bit longer, and possibly, get some get some mortal wounds on him, some mortal wounds on him with the scarabs, and see what we can do. All right, we'll shoot. We'll be back after this. See what damage we can get out here. All right, so resolving this out. The shooting phase wasn't too much, kind of the reliable shooting. We put as much as we could into this dude, but he still has 8 wounds left. We charged, we tank shock, we everything. He was super resilient. I can't complain. I've had some hot armor saves on some stuff that definitely should have died. And then the Doomstalkers obliterated the Norn in the middle. Over here, we were not able to finish him off. He's got 1 wound left, so we're going to have to get him during Marcus's turn, hopefully. But the big news, the happy day, even though I did not get the tempting target, the Scarabs made their charge, blew one up for 4 mortal wounds, and then struck back, lost 1, and that little lone Scarab right there picked up 5 points on Assassinate by finishing off that last dude. So we will probably be able to score 15. But we were not able to stop Marcus from getting max on primary because he still holds this one. Assuming he doesn't fail Battle Shock. Nope, you're not under half your wounds. I need to do 1 more wound to make it take a Battle Shock. So he will get his 5 for that 1 objective, and we'll max it out. And we'll be back after his movement phase. All right, so not a lot and nothing happened at the same time. So Marcus did pick up some points, blowing up some more vehicles, which he really needed to do to get those. Finished off the Tomb Sentinel over here. Fell back didn't fall back. He wasn't in combat for that time, so he just charged it, finished it off after trying to shoot down his buddy up in front. Over here, the Norn left combat. He desperate broke out from here. Successfully did not kill himself with 1 wound left into here. Charged the Doomstalker.
Well, you overwatched with 20 shots from the spiders.
Oh yeah, they sadly did not make it happen,
and only got 2 hits with 20 shots though.
And then he charges in to the Doomstalker, obliterates the Doomstalker, and the Doomstalker blew up and took him with him. A very, very poetic and fitting ending. All right, so I don't think there's very much I can do. I'm going to play on my turn, see what I can have happen. Marcus had a real nice turn there for picking up some of those bring it down tally. So let's see what I get, what I can do, and hopefully score some decent points and have a respectable ending total. I think I can do that. Okay, so bad time for this one. We drew into Bring It Down, and I cannot shuffle it away. So it's going to be one job and one job only. Kill the last big bug. And you know what? I probably lost this game. We don't look at the score till the end. We play every turn as it is to the best of our capabilities. And you know what? I'll be happy if I can at least just eliminate all the bugs. Because, man, I've had a blast with these Doomstalkers and just punching holes in these bugs. So let's finish out the day and slay one more of these models and score tempting targets and call it a night. All right, time to do some shooting. So in the final moments of the game, we drew Bring It Down. Sadly, this was not the time for that. However, we did pick him up, as said, and he blew up and nearly took a Doomstalker, a character. I'm glad he's gone. So at the end of the game, there is only one little squad of Rippers right back here in the building, and one little squad of Rippers back here. Otherwise, we've kicked the Tyranids completely off our table and still have a good sizable force. But I digress. That is not what happens. That is not how the score folds, because Marcus was able to keep a heavy, heavy hand on the primary button for this game, where I was not able to get him off those 15 points. This 15 objective control value of the big monsters was too much to handle, and I didn't have quite enough mobility, but a lot of damage. So at the end of the day, the final score is going to be Necrons 63, Tyranids 83. Guys, hopefully you enjoyed the battle report. We'll be back in a little tomorrow with the post-game recap where we'll talk about our armies, some of the things we liked and didn't like. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed, and we'll talk to you again soon.